Tesla is another stock that has gone up tremendously post Trump and still going up.
Can we give Elon the Investor of the Year award?
Sure. Another.
He moved into the top 5 of CEOs of the year.
Another good day today. So, it's on news that administration is going to focus on self-driving cars, and that was something that obviously Elon been working on for a while, champion. So
yes,
that's favorable for Tesla. They're going to try to focus on self-driving cars, and that's something that obviously will be in. So Tesla just began a lot of good news recently, and looks like Elon's going to have pretty much a say-so, whatever he wants to do in the White House. So
the power of networking. Do you bring this up all the time? And I know some people don't like it. He was with Trump at the Jones fight this weekend. But can we talk about how important it is in long-term relationships to stay close to the king, to able to get the return on investment that you want? Let's take the political leaning out of it. This was a brilliant ass move by Elon. Yeah, and also too, Biden, we got to bring that up. Who had the EV contract last administration? Wasn't them. Biggest the what? This the real big thing.
Yeah, stay close to the money. And Elon, he definitely positioned himself strategically to be in good graces with Donald Trump for sure. And it looks like that's paying off early dividends for him. We'll talk about his position that he created. Or we could talk about it now as far as the Doge with him at head of government efficiency.
Yeah.
Department of Government Efficiency. Who he's gonna co-chair that position. So is there any threat? Because we talked about, okay, this is gonna be good for Tesla and how, is there any situation where this could potentially backfire and Tesla stock could actually fall?
Yeah, if him and Trump fall out, which I believe they will around year 3, year 2.5, year 3, they're going to have a little kerfuffle. And Trump may reverse his leaning towards the EV community. But for those first 2 years, the honeymoon period they're going to have, they'll be A-okay. But I believe if they get into a war or an ego match with each other, it won't fare well for Tesla. But SpaceX IPO probably will come a little bit sooner. Starlink will come a little bit sooner because now I have 3 of the biggest publicly traded companies on the market. That's the real, Elon is setting up for him to be his own personal Vanguard of BlackRock. What is that worth if I bundle up Starlink, Neuralink, the Bourne company, and SpaceX all into one? I mean, so yeah, could there be some blowback? For sure, once they get into it. But for the first 2 years, I think Tesla will be okay. And also too, how many more government contracts or subsidies will he get as a result of being buddy with Trump?
That's the interesting part. I think he stays. I mean, he definitely has stayed close and has definitely benefited. As long as policy is in his favor, I think he'll be good, right? As long as deregulation is in his favor. Why wouldn't he just be like, all right, this is great?
When I saw that headline, I said, Elon.
It just makes too much sense. Now you got the talk of SpaceX IPOing. I think they estimated at $257 billion.
135 a share minimum.
Yeah, you stay close until everything in your favor has worked out. And even if you have a dispute, the policies are in place. Right, that's going to take some time for it to even be challenged or for it to be broken. But the manner at which he's traveling, it is unprecedented, right? When you watch him at the fight, it's everybody. RFK's there, the whole team is there. But it brings up a question, and I got asked this over the weekend about moral investing, and it's people watch watch that whole process. They watch him campaigning, and they didn't agree with his political stance, and so there were a few people that was like, you know what, I made money, I sold my shares because sometimes I can't agree with him morally. And so I was like, I get it. I understand that standpoint. And they were like, you know what? I know the money and the stock is going up, but some things are more important to me than money. And so I want to throw that to y'all because we spoke about that a few times ago. I kind of know what you're going to lean, but in terms of moral investing, what's your thoughts around a company like Tesla and people who are like, hey, I don't agree with the CEO?
I don't believe in investing in prisons or anything that harms Black people. But when I was telling everybody about Elon's villain arc and his strategic plan to become the person that runs the country, everyone called me a conspiracy theorist. So how can you morally, I'm gonna be real, if he's morally inept, he's been doing the same shit for 15 years. He hasn't hidden his desires at all. So I get it now because he's next to Trump. Let's be very honest though. This is how, there are no clean Fortune 500 companies that are publicly traded.
But I think he's more vocal now than he was before. He has a bigger platform, which is Twitter, which is his whole platform.
Got to get a return.
He's weaponized his platform. He's, I don't think he's...
Isn't that what platforms are for? Not to cut you off, but...
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
10 years ago, people didn't know. It's like Trump. Like, people didn't know in 1996 because he wasn't as publicly vocal as he is now, right? So a lot of people supported, a lot of rappers supported him, but they said, like, this is a different person. Now, he might have been the same person internally, but you didn't know that, right? Because he didn't...
That's what happens when you don't do the research, though. I mean, Central Park 5 was there for Trump.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, Elon, I feel like he has ramped up his rhetoric. He ramped it up, right? Like he's always been, weird, said different things, stuff like that. But what he's done over the last couple of years is different.
I mean, he's definitely taken it to a blackout. They're calling you Shotgun Shotty now.
Well,
so he definitely took it to a shotgun. Yeah, for real.
It's already shoddy.
I said, that's good. Double barrel. I mean, has he leveled it up yet? But if you go back to what happened with him and PayPal Mafia, it's part of the reason why they end up having some blowups inside of their inner circle and why him and Reid Hoffman may not have the closest relationship ever. And I'll say this too, like if you go read, you can see the leanings and there are tales that are there. And if you talk to anybody who's ever worked at any of his companies, not the easiest place to work to if you're African American. This isn't my thoughts. It's the people that I've talked to that have worked. It's like, I'm gonna be real. Some of y'all just need to go read and do the fucking research and not get everything off IG. Like if you limit your research to Instagram, you're gonna be in trouble. But the purpose of getting money is Medici rule is to get power and then the power to protect the money. He's just following the American blueprint. Is he more vocal about it? Yes. But moral investing, if you wanted to find a publicly traded company to invest in, there would be none on that list, including Apple, Microsoft, back in the day, Nike. There are no 100%.
Yeah, but then it also depends on what your morals are. So if your morals are like, I'm not going to support somebody who's I think is publicly a racist, that's different from saying I'm not going to support a company that hires labor for cheaper than minimum wage, right? So everybody's morals are different. So I say, like, I don't really. You could do whatever you want to do. That's the good thing about investing, is that you're not forced to invest in any company, and you can make political stances. You can make economic stances if you choose to. So I'm kind of indifferent to it. I feel like if you feel like this doesn't fit right with your moral compass, then don't invest. It's not the only company in the world. Yeah, it's up a lot right now, but it's not the only opportunity to make money. So, never do something that you don't feel comfortable doing. So, if you don't feel comfortable investing in Tesla because you feel uncomfortable with Elon Musk, then that's fine. And if you do feel comfortable because you feel like, it's money at the end of the day, then, I don't think anybody's going to judge you for that either. Like, make it
also, too, when people say that, go look at the history of the companies that you work for. I've said this before 2 years ago. Some of you guys have criticized the companies that we talk about to invest in publicly, but the companies that you work for are literally murderers and terrorists. I mean, or you may work for Kellogg and you're poisoning kids and causing ADHD, or allegedly.
When I got asked the question, it made me think of like some of the things from a moral standpoint, right? So you brought up private prisons, right? But if you look at the election, what sector or what area of companies that have gone up since the election, those are going up double what Tesla's done, right? Like 75%, 85%. It's like somebody's making money on that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, but again, it does a kind of like, what are your moral fabrics, and is money your ultimate goal, right? If it is, then you're just going to invest to try to make money. So
I think you do have to have a moral compass, but you have to realize like there's some fluidity and morality. There's a bunch of people who will, like, it's not talked about publicly. There is some people who are pro, for lack of a better term, racist stocks because it's going to add to the PE of the company. I don't believe in doing that. Y'all can stop with that rumor that Michael Jordan invested in private prisons. That was the white Michael Jordan, not the one to play for the Bulls. If you go research again, opposed to just looking on Instagram. So, but you can find flaws in every company, but I think you have to put your moral leanings first. And if you listen to me, man, you'll be able to make some money. Or if you go to ianinvest.com, prices will be out. And I'll tell you some companies to invest in that will not make you sacrifice your religious or moral leanings.
private prisons being traded on the stock market. Think about that.
It's the American way. It's the
Wow.
American way.
Wow.
And I know some of y'all had an issue with me saying, hey, half pound of weed, you're going to go to jail, da-da-da. Okay, he talking about cartels. If you get some of your product from the cartel, you don't think that, what do I know? What do I know? And then for the Sackler family not to go to jail, cool. Y'all be too righteous in them comments.